Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to present how you can enable safe multisig capabilities on Avalanche L1s. More generally, more broadly, talk a bit about Ash, talk a bit about what Ash, what multisig enables for L1s, why it's interesting, and then hopefully do a demo if my computer doesn't dry out of battery by then. So maybe a bit about Ash before. So we, my co-founder and I started building actually in the Avalanche Summit. I think it was 2022 maybe. And then we were building before that tooling, infra tooling in the Avalanche ecosystem for how to automate all the launching of L1 blockchains. And we have built an open source tooling that allows you to do all those things, which is manage your Avalanche validator nodes, including installing the software, upgrading it, managing all the configuration, everything around L1s as well. How do you create an L1, configure the blockchain associated to it, what VM you want to run, etc. Also upgrade the VM of this L1. And then on top of that, you can plug a lot of different services. A block explorer, we use mostly, actually only open source software for the whole stack. So the block explorer will be a block scout explorer that will be configured to work with the L1 that you launch with Suzaku. The monitoring stack is made of Prometheus for the metrics, and then Grafana for all the visualization, so you can see what's going on in real time in your L1. And you could also plug in a testnet faucet if you need one. Plus, now recently we integrated eRPC, which is pretty cool to enable an RPC that load balances queries between all your nodes to have like maximal performance, like an isolate, the RPC querying from the actual validators of your network, which is also cool because it allows you to not have to run another node, right, instead of your network if you want. You can only use eRPC on top of the validator nodes. I think it will work fine. Of course, like if you want to have an extra layer, you can have also eRPC on top of your RPC nodes dedicated to queries. And very recently as well, we integrated the graph. So if you want to index your L1 and build, plug in subgraphs on top. So everything you could do with the graph, you can also do it self-hosted. So you can have a graph node running and plugged into your L1, and you can then deploy subgraphs on there. And so everything here is open source. I know that a few teams are using it to run their L1s, and a few teams that I learned actually yesterday that node operators that we don't know are using our tooling for running their nodes. So that's pretty cool. And so if you look it up on GitHub, it's Ash Avalanche. And so if you go there, you'll see the Ansible Avalanche collection where all these deployments are available to you. You need to be a bit knowledgeable about Ansible. If you're not, you can also get in touch with us, and we can onboard you there. Something else we do is manage L1s. So as I was saying, if you're knowledgeable in DevOps, you can use the open source tooling directly. Otherwise, you can go to us, and we can manage the L1 for you. It's a bit like AvaCloud, right? So we have the same pricing that AvaCloud. Something a bit different is that we can deploy anywhere you want, whether it's on cloud providers like GCP, AWS, or your own data centers, your own servers, bare metal, whatever. So a bit different use cases, I would say. I mean, AvaCloud, of course, they have like a more complete suite of tooling, and of course, like other developers of Avalanche. So very knowledgeable team. that is worth talking to. If you want like more specialized, I mean, developing on more specialized infra, you can talk to us, and we'll be happy to help. And we can also just run some part of the stack, right? So if, for example, there is a team that is using AvaCloud, but we're running a Block Scout instance for them, we could also do the same for subgraphs, for example, if you want to only have a graph node instance. Now, a bit about what we're here today to talk about. So safe smart accounts. Basically, safe is a stack that allows you to use multi-signature scheme to do a lot of different things, and they call it, under the safe smart account branding, you will find all these. You can do transaction batching. You can do account recovery as plugin modules on top of the multisig, as well as gasless transactions, so sponsoring transactions. But the most important thing is coordinating multiple signers, right, to trigger transaction on chain. This is pretty important for different use cases. I would say the two most important use cases on Avalanche L1s will be treasury management. So if you have a big amount of tokens on your L1 that you want to secure, you will need multisig. So you can have multiple person from your team signing transactions and securing the treasury. And then the second use case that could be interesting is if an L1 is having his validator manager contract on the L1 itself, then you could use a multisig to actually control the validator set, right? Which could be a bit more secure than doing this using directly an EOA, right? I think there are some technicalities linked to that, like the fact of how can you attach some part of the required messages to the transaction, and also an even better way of doing this would be using what Andrea talked about yesterday, which is like the governance based on ICM messages contract. So I guess it's an in-between, right? In between EOA and governance-based contracts, you can do safe multisigs for managing the validator set of an L1. And so concretely, what we do is with Ash Wallet is we take the safe stack, which is open source as well, and we operate it for you L1, the entire stack. So you can directly use the safe wallet, which is a web app on your L1, and there you will be able to interact with these multisig accounts. And we do everything in the background for you, which is running this big piece of infrastructure. It's running in Kubernetes, so I'm just not going to go too much into details because it's mostly my co-founder that does all these things. But the cool thing is it's free of charge for you, right? So because we're partnering with the Avalanche Foundation, and so if you're an L1 building on Avalanche, you just come to us, we integrate you on the Ash wallet, so you can use multisig features without paying anything, right? So eventually what we can do extra is a white, if you want to have the separate UI, then we'll have to see how we can make that work with your own branding and stuff. And so right now we are live with 5 chains. So the C chain, Gunzilla, Beam, Lamina 1, and Hachiverse, which is a gaming L1 recently launched with us, and more to come. So if you're interested, definitely come talk to us, or find me during this conference. Maybe I'll show a bit how it looks like in real life now. Let's see. Yeah. Oops. So this is, if you go to Ash Wallet, this is what you'll see. Basically, you plug in your regular wallet, and then you can create an account, choose a name for your safe. And the cool thing is, so we are integrating with different Avalanche L1s, and what you can do is deploy the multisig on the same address on different chains. So this is why we also have the Avalanche C chain integrated, because Avalanche C chain is already live on the official safe UI. But what's good is if you use Ash Wallet, you can, for example, deploy the same multisig on the C chain and on GUN's mainnet, for example. And so you'll have the same address, which is way easier for managing treasuries and bridging funds back and forth between the L1 and the C chain, for example. And then once you have selected the chains you want to deploy in, you will have to set up who will be the signer of the safe, meaning, who will be able to participate in signing transactions, and then you will also set up the threshold. So usually, if you have 3 signers, what we want to do is like have 2 out of 3, so that a single signer cannot trigger a transaction. At least 2 of the people have to. For even more sensitive, setups, you can even go above and like say, okay, 3 out of 3 have to sign a transaction for it to happen. So I think this is pretty much it. I will not go until the end of the process here, but once you've set up everything, you just deploy the safe, and everything is indexed by our backend, so you don't have to do anything else. Maybe what we can mention is that safe has been hacked recently. So because we're working with a fork of safe, I mean, we're also sensible to the same type of hacks. Hopefully we won't get hacked, but I mean, we cannot really. If even safe get hacked, maybe we will at some point. So what is very important when you interact with multisigs is that you don't have to trust too much what you see on the UI. So you have to always verify that what you sign with your wallet is actually what is shown on the UI, right? And there are like tools that are now embedded in the UI that help you, kind of check that what you see on the UI is the same thing that what you will sign. Okay, so you have to be pretty careful here. I cannot say that we will never get hacked. So it's on you to make sure that what you're signing is what you see, nothing else. So I think I can take questions now if you have some.
Any question?
Hello. First of all, sorry if this question is like not good, but I don't know. When you mentioned like the use cases of the multisig, I think you mentioned like treasury management, and another use case that came to my mind that could be pretty useful, I don't know if it's possible or not, like you have your own protocol, critical contracts, and then the owner of those contracts could be like a multisig, so that you do not have a single point of failure like happened, I think, with Delta Prime, that I think they had like only an EOA, owner of a critical contract, and like they got, I don't know, like...
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. It's, of course, I mean, like critical functions of a protocol, could be secured by
and then it's like
as well.
Simply like same as safe. And when you say safe was exploited, are you talking about Bybit hack or something like that? The one, I think it was in the end not safe, the one exploited, but the.
It was I think they got access to a computer of a dev, and they pushed.
Targeted, like not to safe, but to the Bybit signers, if I recall correctly, right?
Yeah, I think what happened is that they had like a fork of they modified the UI slightly, and so that it's a thing that only targeted the safe smart account. But basically, people from the safe team, when they were on app.safe.global, what they were seeing was not actually what they were signing.
Yeah. And what do you recommend, like as some safety measures to use besides tenderly? Maybe you simulate the transaction, verify on chain, or do you have any other suggestions or something that the regular user can use?
Yeah, I think that some hardware wallets have like advanced features for showing like decoding what the transactions are actually doing, and so you can go a bit further into verifying what you're signing. The thing is here that most of the protocol that you will have on an L1 are probably not standardized and understood by SAFE, like the critical functions that you mentioned. So there is a tool called I don't remember the name. It's like SAFE Signer or something that is developed by the OpenZeppelin team, I think. So, and here you can like input all the different information, as I was saying. Like they can show you, given the chain you're on, the address of the safe, the nonce of the transaction, and the transaction that you want to make. They can show you what should the transaction look like on your signer.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Gauthier. This is a really nice addition to the L1 stack. What does it take to add additional L1s? What's the process of adding new L1s to Ash Wallet?
To Ash Wallet, you mean? So basically, it's pretty much ad hoc. So you just come chat to us, you message us, or you can ask also people at Avalabs if you don't know us directly to connect with us, and we can just jump on a call then and figure out how we can best deploy things. One of the most difficult things, one of the very important things when deploying the SAFE stack to an L1 is that SAFE uses the same addresses on all the chains that they are deployed to. And usually on an Avalanche L1 you'll have smart contracts deployment restrictions. So I mean, some addresses cannot deploy contracts on the chain, and if you mess up with the deployment of for example, if the transactions fails because the deployer was not whitelisted, then it will consume the nonce, and then the next time you will try to create the safe, deploy the safe contracts, you will not end up with the same addresses, and so this could be a bit troublesome. So the best thing is before you deploy the safe contracts on your chain, you come talk to us and we can help you, figure out the best way to do it, and make sure that you don't fall into these edge cases.